Buongiorno and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Chef Deborah from Rocca's Bakery in Greensboro, North Carolina, and today we're going to be making tiramisu my way. And it is a little bit different because I don't use eggs in my cream. We've had a lot of customers with egg allergies and religious practices that they don't want to eat eggs or ingest eggs. So I've created a cream that is just as creamy and just as delicious without using eggs or raw egg products. So we're going to start today by whipping about 2.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. I've got measured out here. I'm going to turn the mixer on. It's going to be a little bit loud. We're going to start it on kind of medium speed because like whipping cream does, it sometimes splatters everywhere, so we don't want that to happen. And I've got a mixture here of powdered sugar, and in this mixture I have this little thing that actually stabilizes the whipped cream so it doesn't separate. So it's called Whip It, and I found that some grocery stores carry it. Down where I live in North Carolina, the grocery stores do not carry it, so I have to order it on Amazon. But it's actually a really great product, and it allows the whipping cream to stay at room temperature for about 2 hours and in the refrigerator for several days without separating, and it makes wonderful stiff peaks. So it's a great product to have in your kitchen. So we're going to slow the mixer down, and we're going to add this. Now I do mix the Whip It with the confection sugar, and then to this mixture we're going to add 1 tablespoon of good vanilla extract, and we're going to turn it on high, and we're going to continue to whip it till stiff peaks. And while that's whipping, I'll clean this up here. And so when that's done whipping, we are going to mix this with the mascarpone and about 1/3 cup of sweet Marsala wine. Because us Italians, we love to put wine in everything we can, including our pastries. So we're going to be doing that today. And if you don't want to add the wine, that's perfectly fine too. It's just about ready. I think it can go a little bit longer to get the stiffness that I want. Okay, so we've whipped our cream to stiff peaks, and let me show you what it looks like when I say stiff peaks, because we want it to stand up like this. That's what we're looking for. Put this in the sink. So tiramisu was always one of my family favorites, and I know a lot of people love tiramisu. But the whipped cream actually makes it just as creamy as if you were putting eggs in it. And if you use a good quality mascarpone, you really don't taste the difference. It's not going to be probably as loose as a traditional tiramisu recipe that does have eggs in it. But for those who don't want eggs or the cholesterol, all you have is the calories from the whipping cream, but we bless those out so you don't have to worry about that. So right now we're folding the whipping cream into the mascarpone, and we're going to add 1/3 cup of the sweet Marsala wine, and we're going to fold that in as well, and that will help loosen it up a little too, and it'll give a wonderful flavor to the cream. Now before I started this recipe, I brewed about 3 cups of espresso that I have in the shallow pan here. We want it to cool so you can dip your cookies in it, and I sweetened it with about 3 tablespoons of sugar. So that looks pretty good here. So, and as always, we need to taste to make sure everything is the way you want it to be. And that's very good. So we'll go ahead and start assembling our tiramisu. So I'm going to reserve a little bit for our martini glass, because when we do caterings, so what we do in the bakery when we do catering, depending on what kind of event it is, we sometimes make our tiramisu in little Parfait glasses and layer it just like we do in the 9x13 or a smaller glass pan. And sometimes if we're doing a private event that has maybe 10 to 25 people, the host would want us to use martini glasses, and I'm going to show you how to do that and make it and add some of the espresso into the mascarpone mixture so that the presentation in the martini glass looks really nice and very elegant. So we're going to start by doing a quick dip of our ladyfinger cookies, which you can find just about in any grocery store, at least in New York. In North Carolina, you can't. They don't sell them in the grocery stores. So I have to order them from my special supplier that does all my imports. But we're just going to do a quick dip. And again, this is about 3 cups of espresso with about 3 tablespoons of sugar. And you want to be sure that the cocoa powder that we use as well is a good cocoa powder. Don't look for a dark cocoa powder that has a good rich flavor, because the better ingredients you have, the better it's going to taste. So we want to be sure that if you're going to all of this work to make tiramisu, that all of the ingredients are good quality ingredients. So my kids grew up loving this, and of course they would always want to lick the spoon and lick the spatula and all. This is a fun dish to make with your kids or your grandkids as well, because it doesn't require any heat other than making the espresso. And you know, it's great to use fresh espresso so that you get great coffee. And I use Lavazza coffee, which is a great Italian espresso brand, or you can use any brand that you can find locally. So we're just going to take some of the cream and we're going to put some over the top, and then we're going to spread some out. But it doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to be layering another layer of cookies on top of this. And we're going to take our good cocoa powder, and I like a lot of cocoa powder because I'm a chocoholic, so we're going to do a nice good layer of it through a little sifter. And these, you can buy these at Walmart. You can get them in just about anywhere nowadays. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to repeat. Like I said, it's a very easy recipe to do. It's something the kids will love to help you with. It took me a minute in North Carolina to get people to enjoy tiramisu. They loved espresso coffee, but they had never really tried this particular dessert. So it was nice to be able to introduce some Southerners to some of our good Italian pastries and desserts. And we're just about done. Then we're going to put another layer of cream on top of this. And then I'll show you how we can make your Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving, whenever birthdays or anniversaries, when you want to make tiramisu for your family, and do something special with the Parfait glasses and the martini glasses. Martini glasses aren't just for martinis. We can use them for desserts as well, which I do often. So we're going to finish up with our next layer of cream. Now, the brand of mascarpone cheese that I love to use is a Belagos, or another good imported Italian cheese. Again, the quality of the cheese in this, because it's cheese, and the quality of the heavy cream makes a big difference in the finished product. So you want to be sure that you just spend an extra 50 cents or 60 cents to get what's really good. I think most grocery stores now carry them, so you shouldn't have a hard time finding any of the ingredients. I know here in New York, where we're filming this, I was pleased to see all wonderful things imported from Italy, but we're in an Italian neighborhood, so I wouldn't expect anything less. But if you're from other parts of the country, especially the South, where these types of products aren't as prevalent, you will have to order them. Like I said, the ladyfinger cookies, and I know down where I'm from, we have Harris Teeter grocery stores and Publix, and they typically carry ladyfinger cookies. So we've got the cream layered here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish with a good dusting of cocoa powder again. And when you do this, you want to get it right to the edge, and it's going to get all over the counter, but we just wipe it off and keep on going, because we want it all to be covered with that good dark cocoa powder. we finish it off with chocolate curls. Now we can use a vegetable peeler and a chocolate bar. Now I use Ghirardelli or another really good brand of chocolate bar, 60% cacao. And to give you these curls, you can buy chocolate curls already made and done for you like this. And you just want to sprinkle the top with as much chocolate as you want. If you like a little bit of chocolate or a lot of chocolate, we're going to put both kinds on just to give it a little more dimension. Some limoncello instead of sweet marsala wine in it, and that makes a wonderful lemony dessert. If you like lemons, I've done strawberry, where you use fresh strawberry preserves in the tiramisu. So there's a lot of different ways that you can make tiramisu, but this is a classic. This is what it looks like when it's finished. So we're going to do something a little bit different, like I said, with our martini glass. We're going to take the sugared espresso, we're going to mix a little bit of it in here with the mascarpone. And so we're basically making a coffee flavored mascarpone mixture with the whipped cream. And I want to taste this real quick to make sure there's enough espresso in it. They do make a coffee extract, but I find that gives it kind of a bitter taste. I could use a little bit more. Nice coffee flavor, but just a tad more. I love coffee. So I added probably a total of 2 tablespoons of espresso into this. This is about a half a cup of mixture. And of course, I'm only making 1 martini glass. Grab a spoon here. Now, in this, we do not want to dunk the cookies in the espresso because the cookies will be too soggy to pull out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the mixture right in with the cookies. Now, if you want to, you can top it with a little bit of whipped cream, but the whipped cream is already in the espresso, already in the mascarpone mixture. And then, of course, we want to just do that and it just makes a really beautiful presentation. And if you want to get it a little bit around the rims of the glasses, just very lightly dust. And then, of course, if it gets on the stem, you'll have to wipe that off before you serve it to your guests. But that's our tiramisu martini. So this is our finished product with our no egg tiramisu and our coffee tiramisu in our little martini glass to serve on special events or holidays or for one of your buffets that you have for a celebration. So the last way of presentation for our tiramisu is in a little Parfait cups. Now you can buy plastic cups like this, or you can use a wine glass, you can use a glass that you have in your home. So what we're going to do is we're going to break up the cookies and dunk them, and we're going to place them in the Parfait glass. And we're going to layer just like we do in the regular recipe. Except, of course, we use less. We don't use as many cookies and we don't use quite as much filling, but it does make a little nice presentation. And of course, our cocoa, heavy dusting of cocoa. And I've done this a number of times for my own parties that I have at my house for the holidays. Every year my husband and I host a Christmas party for our business associates. Usually about 75 people show up, and we do a full buffet and a full dessert bar. So it's a wonderful time to showcase some of your things that you've learned and new things that you've tried and old recipes that are tried and true. And so in a Parfait glass, depending on how big they are, you can have 3 or 4 layers. But typically what I like to do is 3 layers is quite a bit of cream, and it is a rich dessert, so you don't want to pack it up too much other than that. And on a Parfait like this, if you want to put a dollop of whipped cream on the top, just as a way of presenting, it looks very nice that way as well. But we're going to do it the traditional way today. And our last little bit of cocoa. And then we're going to finish it with some chocolate curls. I spilled it there. So this is our traditional tiramisu, no egg tiramisu for a family or one or two very hungry people. And this is a very elegant way in a martini glass with our coffee mascarpone mixture. And this is a great way on a buffet to do a presentation of tiramisu so that you don't have guests digging into a large pan. They can take their own serving and grab a spoon. So this is our tiramisu. And our next recipes, we're going to be making cream horns and cannolis, the Sicilian way. So see you in our next episode. This is Chef Deborah from Rocca's Bakery. Our next episode, we're going to be doing a Sicilian cannoli and cream horns. So join us then.